Good. Yeah, Allah, we have a quality work. We have a movie star here. All over the world. Thank you, sir.
اللهم صل على رسولنا الكريم وعلى الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Thank you.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Last week we went over the responsibility placed on our shoulders of calling people towards good, forbidding evil, calling people towards Islam, towards Allah, towards the belief of Risalah, towards the belief of a life after death. This responsibility is a very weighty, very heavy responsibility, and it is never to be considered lightly. We went over a few verses last week. Some of those verses included that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that he will be facing a very heavy responsibility on his shoulders. إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. You can take it literally, or you can take it metaphorically. And then we also went over a verse that if we were to imagine the responsibility to be placed on any other creation of Allah besides human beings, let's say for example a mountain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that if this responsibility was placed on a mountain, the mountain would completely disintegrate into dust. This is the type of responsibility that the prophets and messengers had. And now since there will be no prophets and messengers to come to Yawm al-Qiyamah, that responsibility is now on our shoulders. So we should never consider it or take it lightly. Most definitely we will be questioned about it on the Day of Judgment. How did you fulfill your responsibility in calling people towards Allah, towards Islam? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use us for this mission. Moving forward, now we want to give at least some kind of, because our religion is very balanced. It's Bashir and Nadir. You give a warning, and you're also the bearer of good news. You give people a balance. You give people, you allow us and encourage us to live between fear and hope. So last week it was a very fearful reminder. Today, inshallah, we'll speak about Eid. Eid is known as a very happy occasion. Now the question that we want to pose to everyone here is that how many Eids do you know? How many Eids do we know? Of course we remember Eid al-Fitr. We also know Eid al-Adha. But yesterday we celebrated an Eid, Yawm al-Jum'ah. Yawm al-Jum'ah is also considered an Eid. Now if we were to break this down and how the Eids are manifested and how as Muslims we are able to enjoy days of celebration. So how do we consider each one? Let's go over a few of those. The relationship between the two, or at least the three Eids that we know of, they always happen on the conclusion of something. And they are the pillars of Islam. We know them as Salah, Zakah, fasting, and Hajj. Of course, the main pillar, the first one being that we believe, we have faith. That's also a pillar. So the Eids are connected to the pillars of Islam. let's go to the weekly Eid. The weekly Eid, Yawm al-Jum'ah, if we were to look at the entire week, Yawm al-Jum'ah is the celebration of Salah. We know that we as Muslims are commanded, we are demanded to offer 5 times Salah on a daily basis. 5 times Salah daily. So now on the conclusion of the week, 7 days, 5 times Salah, the conclusion and the celebration is Jum'ah. So those of us who are very truly fortunate to be punctual and maintain consistency on offering our 5 times Salah on time, the celebration of that, the shukr of that is Yawm al-Jum'ah. The day of Jum'ah, offering the Jum'ah prayer in the masjid is truly something beautiful. It is the wisdom behind it we just mentioned is this very thing. So next time we attend Jum'ah prayer, we should have a deeper connection with it and a deeper appreciation for Jum'ah. Friday is known as the Sayyid al-Ayyam, the leader of the days. Friday. Friday is considered one of the best days, if not the best day of the week. Adam alayhi salam was created on a Friday. The day of judgment will take place on a Friday. Adam alayhi salam was allowed to enter Jannah on Friday. Adam alayhi salam was introduced and he exited Jannah on Friday. Many connections with Friday. So this is the pillar of Islam. Salah, the celebration of Salah is Jum'ah. Now we know that the next two is Yawm al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr is the day that we celebrate the conclusion of Ramadan, fasting. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to reach Ramadan. We can just imagine the day of Eid, truly a global celebration for all Muslims throughout the world. An entire month. No other religion can ever lay claim. First of all, no other religion can lay claim that they prostrate before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, place their foreheads on the ground before our Creator, our Rabb subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can lay claim to that. As Muslims, our 5 times Salah distinguishes us and separates the Muslims from the disbelievers. Secondly, no one can lay claim to fasting consistently straight for 1 month. Yes, you have 1 day or 2 days in other religions that Lent and all of these other days, the Jews practice Sabbath and their days. But the way that the Muslims, as we do it, we are maintaining the traditions of the past nations. We know the verse, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. It's literally a continuing tradition of the nations of the past. As Muslims, we are the ones who are maintaining that tradition. So of course, on the pillar of fasting, the pillar of Islam, fasting, the celebration is Eid al-Fitr. Now we know the third one, a very famous one, Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha is the pillar of Islam, Hajj, the celebration of the conclusion of Hajj. And there are many similarities, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows not only the Hajjaj who are visiting Baytullah to celebrate, but also the non-Hajjaj, the people who are not able to go and participate in the Hajj. They are also allowed to celebrate. They are also allowed to celebrate. And the display of this celebration is that the Hujjaj, they don't necessarily have an Eid prayer, but the fact that they just witnessed Yawm Arafah, and the day after Yawm Arafah, we know what takes place on Arafah. All the Hujjaj from around the world gather, and they are pleading and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy, blessings. And then the next day, the Hajj is slaughtered. It's a type of a shukr, giving thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that the non-Hajjaj practice udhiyah. So these are some of those similarities. If we were to now, and we always, as human beings, we try to find out, fine, we just heard about 3 Eids. Jum'ah, we heard about Eid al-Fitr, we heard about Eid al-Adha. Now the question is, which Eid is the greatest out of the 3? Which Eid has the higher rank? You always want to place something in first place. So which Eid comes in first? There's a hadith mentioned in Ibn Majah. It mentions that Jum'ah is the greater one. Jum'ah is the greater of the 3 Eids. Then Eid al-Adha, and then third place is Eid al-Fitr. And the explanation of this is given that Eid al-Adha versus Eid al-Fitr, why is it second and third place? Eid al-Adha is greater because there's 2 reasons why it's in second place. 2 reasons is that the time and place. The time and place of Eid al-Adha is very unique. That's why it gets second place. The time, of course, is Dhul Hijjah, the Ayyam Hajj, and the place, the sanctuary, Haram al-Makki, and we know that vicinity, Arafah, Muzdalifah, Jamarat, Mina. So the time and place, whereas Eid al-Fitr only gets the time of the year, Ramadan. And now if we go to Jum'ah, it has the time, place, and location. The time of the week, the place of the week, of course the masjid, and the location is global. Every single Muslim throughout the world has an opportunity to witness and participate in the Jum'ah. We'll just conclude with this and it goes back to the first question that we started with, is that how many Eids do you know? And we'll conclude with the saying of a Jew, a Yahudi, said to Umar radiallahu anhu, that you people, you Muslims, you have a verse in your Quran. If that verse was revealed upon us, the Jews, we would have made that day an Eid. We would have celebrated like there was no tomorrow. The Jew is telling Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. And the verse that he's talking about is none other than Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-Islam deena. This verse is found in Surah Ma'idah, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing upon Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the completion of the revelation, and the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen for you and I the religion of Islam. The Jew is telling Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu this. And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he truly, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him on our behalf. Such a bold response he gave the Jew. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu mentioned to the Jew that, Wallahi, I swear by Allah, I know that verse, I know in which time and which location that verse was revealed, and it is an Eid for us. It was revealed on Friday, on the day of Arafah, during the days of Hajj. So we just combined everything now. And it is truly a day of celebration. And this is, again, it gives us a time to appreciate, of course, Sha'ban started. We have a few more days for Ramadan. So inshallah, the next time we participate in Jum'ah, the next time we participate in Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, let us always remember these reminders in regards to our faith. There should never be a time where we are not proud of our religion. And especially as parents and guardians, we should definitely instill within the hearts and minds of our young ones at home that they have their days of celebration, and we most certainly have our own days of celebration where we can not only celebrate as a community, but we celebrate and also thanking our Rabb subhanahu wa ta'ala for every single bounty and blessing that He has showered upon us. Inshallah, we'll continue with these topics. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله.
Thank you. Sean, I told you. What did he say last week?
Oh.
What did